Since the bowling season is officially over, I thought I would reflect on the past year and talk about how this season went for me. Talk about from the highest highs to the lowest lows, and how my outlook has changed with bowling. So let's get into it. So going into the season, I had mixed emotions on how I was going to bowl. Over the summer, I had been bowling a lot. I was creating YouTube videos and I was just grinding it all out. But I really got burnt out and decided to take the last month off before the league started, just to refresh my mentality so I was ready for the season. So once bowling started, it wasn't anything special, it was just like a normal start to the year, basically just getting back into the swing of things. I was a little all over the place, but I was like slowly finding my groove back into how I usually bowl. So after a few weeks, I finally had my first tournament of the year, which was the singles regional round. I bowled pretty good in this tournament. I came in second with a 1096 series, which qualified me for the provincial round. So after that first tournament, I was feeling good about myself, qualified for provincials already. It was only a couple weeks into the season, and I was already just feeling good. So from there I went back into league and to practice mode, getting ready for my next tournament, which was the Youth Challenge. But before that, I kind of fell into a little bit of a slump. My shooting was not the greatest. So going into the Youth Challenge, I did not have much confidence, which did not help much. So for the Youth Challenge regional round, I struggled a bit that day. I had some good games, but also some pretty bad games as well. But I did end up qualifying for the mixed team. I shot 1,000 even on the day, which is alright, but I wish I shot a little bit higher just so I could make the men's team. But I still qualified, which meant I got to go to provincials. So after the Youth Challenge regional round, I had a 1 week buffer before I had provincials for singles, which I qualified for before. And I was starting to get out of my small little slump and starting to get my confidence back, which really helped out. So once the provincial rounds for single came around, it was a real struggle. I only shot a 974 for 5 games and I came in 9th place, which was not really good. I really struggled a lot and I was upset with how that tournament went for me, especially since I was finally starting to get my confidence back, and it really hurt not to bowl well after I had just felt so much better about getting out of my slump. But all I had to do was just move on from it. So after singles, I moved on from it, but we only had 1 week left of the 2022 portion of the season. So I didn't shoot the greatest that week, but I was going through some personal stuff, so I was just ready for winter break to come so that I could just take a break, refresh my mentality, and then get back at it in 2023. So once winter break finished up, I got back into bowling again. I didn't really want to bowl just because winter break was not great for my mental health. And I kind of lost interest in doing everything, which was not good. But the good news out of it is that my bowling wasn't actually affected from it, because I shot 2 700 series back to back, and I was feeling extremely well with my game. And this was really important because I had the Youth Challenge Provincials the week after, so I was just ready to go in there and do my best. So I started doing really well again from the winter break, and my drive for bowling was going through the roof, and I was ready to crush this upcoming tournament, and I really wanted to just win it all. So at the tournament, it actually went really well. My team qualified in the last spot for winter games, which was really lucky. It was really close, but we beat the other team by 7 points or something like that. We got all our points, they got none of theirs, so we got to qualify for winter games. But it was such a fun tournament. Our team chemistry was on, and we all bowled our hearts out for the 7 games, and it was a really long day. It was around 12 hours which it was just a really tiring time, but we qualified and we were all happy at the end of the day. So after the provincial run for Youth Challenge, there wasn't much to do other than just grind it out and practice for Winter Games. I had no new tournaments coming up, so I just had to prepare myself for Winter Games. My scores that I was shooting were a little low and my confidence was not where it should have been, but I just kept an open mind and told myself to just throw the ball like I know and the pins will fall. So after all the practice I had gotten in and I was in a good mental state, I was ready for the tournament and I was ready to compete against the best bowlers from across Ontario. And yeah, I did that. It was such a fun experience. I had such a blast. It was so much fun. I got to make new friends. I got to meet a bunch of the bowlers. I got to even meet some of you at the tournament, which was awesome. I loved just the interactions we had and everything. I shot my highest single there, which was a 381. Very proud of that. And yeah, I just felt really confident with how I was bowling. My team only came in 5th place, but I was being able to just bowl with them and have so much fun, which is all you have to do at the end of the day. So after all the fun that I was having at Winter Games, there was a real big slowdown in my life. There wasn't many new tournaments that was going on. I did have a couple, but I bowled extremely bad in those, and it was just hurting my mental health then. Yeah, just everything kind of came to a stop, and I didn't know what to do next. Since there wasn't much motivation to bowl, I just kind of stopped wanting to go. My scores were dropping, and I didn't really have anything to work for. I kind of just showed up and threw the ball just for fun. I didn't really want to be there, and I just had no motivation to keep with the sport. I was just at the lowest point in my bowling career. So finally, as I finished up the season, we went to playoffs. I still was not having fun with bowling, and I really just took a break from social medias and making these videos. I was just not feeling it at the time. But we had our final day of bowling that we had, which brought back my spirit with bowling, because I was just too focused on being competitive, being the best, always improving. But that was just hurting my mental game, since none of those things were even happening to me. So I just needed to relax and have fun with the game and just cheer on my teammates and do crazy stuff, like bowl opposite-handed or with a broom, you know?
Oh! And that's really important for topping wrong angles.
So now that the season was over, these are my final thoughts on it. I was just all over the place. I had my highest highs, but at the same time my lowest lows, which really hurt. As I said, I was trying to take breaks through the season, take breaks from bowling, from social media, just really refresh my mental, but it was not working, since I knew I had bowling the next week, or I had a tournament coming up or something like that, and I wanted to be the best in league and in tournament, or just whenever I was bowling, but I was just always struggling when I was trying to be the best. So it was a really tough year for me, but knowing all of that and knowing that I was getting upset when I was trying to be the best, and when I was doing well, I was not thinking of being the best and just focused on the actual bowling, it really helps me understand and grow as a person, basically, where I need to put my focus and my mental health with bowling. And knowing all of this has really helped out, actually, because I have that drive again knowing what makes me upset and what makes me not want to bowl. So knowing all of that, I want to like get back into YouTube. I want to get back into bowling, start competing again, fighting for the top, just get back into what I truly love. And with that, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed, make sure to give it a like. And for more bowling content in the future, coming very soon, make sure you subscribe. And that's all for today. I'll see you in next week's video. See ya.